My beloved child, I have heard you. Every word you have spoken in prayer, every sigh that you couldn't put into words, and every tear that has fallen from your eyes, I have seen it all, and I have listened. Know this, I am closer to you than you can ever imagine, and I am deeply aware of your heart's desires. When you come to me in prayer, pouring out your soul in search of answers, you may sometimes wonder if I am truly listening. You may ask, does he hear me? Does he understand what I'm going through? Will he respond? My beloved, I want to assure you that I have heard every single prayer. I am not distant, I am right here with you, holding your hand, even when you can't feel it. Your voice reaches my ears, and your prayers stir my heart. Prayer is more powerful than you realize. Each time you pray, whether in joy or in sorrow, you are connecting with me, the Creator of the universe, the one who holds all things in his hands. You might feel that your prayers are small, that they go unnoticed in the grand scheme of things, but nothing could be further from the truth. Remember what I said in the Gospel of Matthew, ask, and it will be given to you, seek, and you will find, knock, and the door will be opened to you. I did not say this lightly. I made this promise to you because I wanted you to understand how deeply I care about your prayers. I hear you when you call on me. I listen when you seek me. I am always present when you knock at the door of my heart. Your prayers are powerful, not because of the words you use or how long you pray, but because of the faith that comes behind them. When you pray, you are demonstrating trust in me. You are acknowledging that I am your source of hope, strength, and guidance. And I do not take that lightly. Your faith, even as small as a mustard seed, moves mountains in my kingdom. Trust that your prayers are not going unheard. I am listening intently, and I am moving in ways that you cannot yet see. I know that sometimes it feels like you have been praying for the same thing for a long time. You may feel weary, like you're waiting for an answer that doesn't seem to come. But my child, do not lose heart. Your persistence in prayer is precious to me. Do you remember the story of the persistent widow? She kept coming to the unjust judge, seeking justice, and though the judge initially ignored her, he eventually granted her request because of her persistence. If an unjust judge responds to persistence, how much more will I, your loving and just Savior, respond to your prayers? I am not slow to answer. I am working all things out in the perfect time. There is something beautiful about persistent prayer. It strengthens your faith, draws you closer to me, and teaches you to trust me even when you don't yet see the results. Every time you return to me in prayer, you are building a deeper connection with me. You are showing that you believe in my goodness, in my ability to provide, and in my love for you. And my child, I do love you, more than you can ever comprehend. You may wonder why some prayers seem to take longer to be answered than others. You may think, Jesus, if you hear my prayers, why haven't I seen the breakthrough I'm asking for? But my child, I want you to know that I am always working, even when you can't see it. Just because you haven't seen the answer yet, doesn't mean I'm not responding. There are many things happening in the unseen. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. You see a small part of the picture, but I see it all, the past, the present, and the future. I see the ripple effects of every decision, every answered prayer. I know the perfect timing for every blessing, every opportunity, and every healing. I am working things out for your good, even if it doesn't look the way you expected. Sometimes, the answer to your prayer is being prepared in ways you cannot yet understand. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe there are things you need to learn or ways you need to grow before the answer comes. Maybe I am protecting you from something you don't yet see. Trust that I am not delaying out of neglect but out of love. I am orchestrating everything for your ultimate good. There are moments in your life when the answer I give you will look different from what you expected. You may have prayed for one thing, but I will provide something else, something better, though it may not seem so at the time. My beloved, I ask that you trust me in these moments, knowing that I see the bigger picture. Remember how Paul prayed for the thorn in his flesh to be removed? He asked multiple times, and yet, my answer was different from what he wanted. I didn't remove the thorn, but I gave him something even more powerful, my grace. I told him, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Paul didn't receive the answer he was seeking, but he received something far greater, my strength, my power, and my presence in the midst of his struggle. In the same way, there will be times when my answer to your prayer may be not yet, or even a no, but it's never because I don't care. It's because I love you too much to give you anything less than my best. Trust that even when my answer is different, it is always for your good. I am always giving you what you need, even if it's not what you thought you wanted. One of the hardest things for my children to understand is the timing of my answers. You live in a world that moves quickly. You are used to immediate results, instant gratification. But my kingdom operates differently. There is a divine timing for everything, and I ask you to trust in that timing. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. My timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with yours. Sometimes, you may feel like I am delaying, but my delay is not denial. I am never late. I am always working things out according to the perfect timeline I have set for your life. Consider the story of Lazarus. When I heard that Lazarus was sick, I didn't rush to heal him immediately. I waited. And during that time, Lazarus died. But when I arrived, I didn't just heal him, I raised him from the dead. My timing brought about a greater miracle than anyone could have imagined. My timing brought about a greater miracle than anyone could have imagined. But trust that I am always on time. I am working things out for your good, and when the time is right, you will see the fullness of my plan. My beloved, I don't just hear the words you speak in prayer, I hear the cry of your heart. Even when you don't have the words to say, even when you can only groan or whisper in your pain, I understand. I hear you. You don't have to pray with eloquence or perfection for me to listen. All I ask is that you come to me with an open heart, willing to share your deepest thoughts, fears, hopes, and dreams. In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. Even when you cannot find the words, my Spirit is at work, interceding on your behalf, translating the unspoken cries of your soul into prayers that reach my heart. You are never too broken, too tired, or too confused to pray. Come to me as you are, and I will listen. Whether you're joyful or sorrowful, whether your prayers are full of thanksgiving or full of lament, I hear you. I understand you, and I respond to the cry of your heart. Sometimes, I answer your prayers in ways you don't immediately recognize. You may be expecting a certain kind of response, but I may work in a completely different way. Be open to the unexpected. Think about the people I healed during my time on earth. Some came expecting healing with just a word, but I used different methods. For some, I touched them. For others, I told them to do something unusual, like the blind man whom I told to wash in the pool of Siloam. The answers came, but not always in the way they expected. In your life, too, I may be answering prayers in ways you haven't yet noticed. It may be through people I've placed in your path, through opportunities you didn't expect, or through changes in your heart that are happening gradually over time. Be watchful, for I am always at work, answering your prayers in ways that will surprise you and exceed your expectations. I know how hard it can be to surrender the outcome of your prayers to me. You want to know what will happen, when it will happen, and how it will happen. But my beloved, true peace comes when you trust me completely, surrendering the outcome into my hands. When you pray, I ask you to trust not just in my ability to answer, but in my wisdom to answer in the best way possible. Trust that I know what is best for you, even when you don't understand it. Trust that my love for you is so deep, so wide, and so perfect, that I will never withhold what is good for you. So, my beloved, I encourage you, keep praying. Keep coming to me with your requests, your praises, and your burdens. I delight in hearing your prayers, and I will never stop listening. Pray with expectation, knowing that I hear you and that I am working on your behalf. Your prayers are not in vain. I am moving, I am working, and in my perfect time, you will see the answers unfold. Remember, I am always with you. I am your Savior, your friend, and your advocate. I hear your prayers, and I am faithful to respond in ways that will bring you closer to me and fulfill my purpose for your life. Take heart, my child. I have heard you. Trust in my love, trust in my timing, and trust that I am always working for your good.